What is going on, world? What's up, guys? It's Zero here. I hope all of you out there are having a great day so far, and I want to let you guys know that we're going to be casting another game of Starcraft 2. And this one is between two players who are known on the WCS circuit. First off, in the bottom left-hand corner of Lost and Found LE, playing with the Zerg pieces, we have a player who goes by the name of SouLeer. And on the opposite side of the map, playing with the blue Terran pieces, we have a player who goes by the name of DeMusliM. So guys, this is game number 2. You guys can check out game number 1 now on the YouTube channel. Game number 1, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but obviously DeMusliM did end up winning that game, and he did it in quite some fashion. Looks like to start off, though, in this game, he's not going to cheese his opponent. At least it doesn't look like it. He's going to go for a standard barracks into a gas geyser, and on the opposite side, it looks like SouLeer is going to go probably hatch gas pool at this point. That's what it looks like our Zerg player is going to go ahead and do. SouLeer must not feel too phased by getting cheesed completely by DeMusliM. Looks like he's just going to go for a relatively standard build, try to play a standard macro-focused style. And that looks like what DeMusliM is planning on doing as well. He's up 1-0. He's probably thinking to himself, okay, this game I'm going to play, relatively standard and just try to out-macro my opponent. So SouLeer, guys, as I had said, this guy might not be as well known on the WCS circuit as, he might get overshadowed by people such as, Serral or Dark, even Rogue. But look, guys, if you're on the WCS circuit, you're on the circuit for a reason. You are a very good player who, still is somebody who, is not to be taken lightly. If you're a professional StarCraft 2 player, there is for no reason at all should any player out there take them lightly if you play them and end up playing them on the ladder. Period. So, with that said, guys, it looks like we have the very first Terran Reaper coming across the map to see if he can do a little bit of some damage, try to maybe get a couple of kills here and there. See how good the macro is. Looks like there was a little slight delay there, and man, this Reaper is getting some really nice kills here. Very nicely played there by the Zerg. Making sure that he doesn't lose that drone for free. There was a lag, though, so I'm not going to completely point the blame here at SouLeer, but it does look like we're setting ourselves up here for a standard-focused macro game here. Looks like DeMusliM's just trying to be kind of a nuisance, trying to take, get a little bit of some damage on that third hatchery. And as we're saying this, he's going to go ahead building another command center. So he's going for a third command center as well as a starport. And he also has, of course, the factory and a barracks. So this should be interesting. We do have some more Terran units coming across the map. Those being a couple of Hellions. I'm wondering how SouLeer is going to play this game, though. Looks like he's going to be getting a Baneling nest, which is probably a good, a good idea, at least at this point. Getting a Baneling nest seems to be, the gold standard when it comes to the ZVT matchup. These Zerglings are going to start making their way across the map here. Looks like our Zerg player is trying to get as much information as he can. He definitely sees kind of what's going on. These Zerglings are going to possibly try to run into the main base here. There's a lot of Zerglings at this point, and I wonder if they're just going to go right up. They are not. They're not going to go right up into the main base location. They're going to try to get a couple of kills, but they just had a barbecue, and that is, of course, those Hellions. Very nicely played, but when it's all said and done, guys, both these players are kind of on equal, relatively equal supplies. So, should be interesting to see what happens here. We do have the Evolution Chamber coming up for SouLeer, as well as 2 of the Engineering base. So, we're going to see +1/+1 from our Terran player, and then our Zerg is obviously going to probably be upgrading one of the ground-based upgrades. So, third base, sorry, is up at this point for our Terran player. Now, it's not saturated quite yet, but there is a unit called the Mules, and those Mules can really mine for a lot. So that's going to be something that we're going to have to take into consideration here, guys, and we're going to have to kind of think about. Stim packs coming up, as well as the +1/+1 upgrades for our Terran player. Banshee is out as well, so I'm wondering if he's going to try to do some harassment here. But SouLeer, a little bit too good for that, does have his spore crawlers up in actually all 3 of his bases. Very important, guys, to have some steady defense in your in each of your bases as a Zerg player. I just know this from experience playing with the Zerg pieces. Roach Warren's coming up as well for the Zerg player. So it looks like, guys, both these players are kind of giving each other some respect here, at least in this game. And they just want to fight it out, duke it out at the highest level, but also with the, with possibly maxed out armies, or play that standard macro-focused game. These Hellions are getting so much value at this point, guys. They are just getting so many Zergling kills. The Hellions are just incredible against the Zerglings, man. I mean, it's just such a, it's a great, counter to the Zerglings is having Hellions. Hellions, and then, getting some Hellbats is huge. Now, with the Roaches coming out, these Hellions are going to lose their value relatively quickly. They're not going to be quite as good against, of course, the Roaches. So this should be interesting to see how this is going to play. I like this wall off of the supply depots by the Terran player. I really like that. He also is walling off here at the main base location, or into the natural as well. Very smart, because DeMusliM. If you guys saw the Elazer versus DeMusliM matchup, you guys will know that Elazer just really took advantage of having an opening into the natural base. There's a massive drop here going down in the main base of the Zerg, and I'm wondering, this could do a lot of damage, but DeMusliM smartly backs off. He decides to back off a little bit, and he's probably going to test the waters a couple more times. He did get some value. These the Hellions end up coming into the third base location of the Zerg, and ends up getting a couple of kills, but nothing extreme here. But what this does, guys, is now this is going to keep the Zerg player at home, and this is what a lot of these Terran players are trying to do nowadays. They're trying to keep these guys at home. And they're going to try to get as much value as possible, especially seeing as how there are no air units at this point for the Zerg player. We have Ravagers coming up now as well for the Zerg player. He has to cancel that 4th base location because of these drops by the Terran player. These Ravagers are gonna, you don't want to lose those guys for free. So SouLeer is gonna have to, he's kind of gonna be climbing an uphill battle at this point. He is gonna be climbing an uphill battle, and I think what needs to happen, though, guys, is now that he's got his army kind of split up a little bit. What this does, like I said, it keeps the Zerg player at home, and this is so annoying. And while this is all happening, DeMusliM is building a massive force to go against this Zerg player, and this is what happens, guys. This is what happens when you kind of are somewhat playing a little bit passive or whatever. Before you know it, the Terran is fully maxed out on an army that you may or may not be able to stop, especially when we're talking siege tanks and a bunch of Marines with medevacs. And then, of course, you have as well as a Banshee that can do some damage as well. So at this point, there is a lot of Terran units moving across the map. Now some some vials. If he hits those well, it could be really bad for the Terran player, but he is going to jump and pounce on this entire army of the Terran, of the Zerg player, and it looks like, guys, he's going to try to get this cancel, or even the, you know, get the kill on that, fourth base location of the Zerg. And before he could do that, SouLeer decides to GG out. Wow, guys, DeMusliM, like I said, is a definite force to be reckoned with. This guy is a great player, great Terran player. I've really enjoyed watching his games, and I hope you guys did enjoy this game between DeMusliM and SouLeer. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.